Hello everybody, and welcome back to OMB Reviews. I am the critic who is a cynic. Hope we're doing well, and today we'll be covering some movie news, or rather some TV series news, which is not something I do very commonly, at least on the main videos on the channel. Typically, I talk about this stuff during live streams, but I saw this bit of news last night on social media and just got so incredibly hyped for it that I had to make a video about it this morning. So before going any further, please make sure you smash that like button, light up that fire button if you're watching over on Odyssey, and also make sure you're subscribed to the channel with that bell notification turned on. That way you know every time a new video or live stream goes live on the channel. So as you can see, breaking news from yesterday, Mel Gibson is set to star in the John Wick origin series, The Continental. So The Continental has been a show that has been named, has been rumored, has been talked about, has been planned for years now, it seems, at this point, and it is set to debut on the network Starz and also apparently on Lionsgate Television. It's actually the first I've heard of Lionsgate Television, but I've known of Starz for a very long time. Starz offers a plethora of various movies and shows that I've never really found personally worth the price of another subscription. However, if the only way I can watch this show is to access Starz, then you will bet your bottom dollar that I will absolutely be going and watching the show, because Mel Gibson is probably one of my favorite actors, directors of the last several years. He has made so many iconic films. Obviously, you all know, as a Catholic, he's made The Passion of the Christ, which is still, to me, one of the most important films that's ever been made, and also is a film that I continue to show students every single year during Easter time, especially because of just how important it is. And so Mel Gibson, obviously, because of that very reason, has a very special place in my heart. I know that the man is not perfect, as none of us on Earth are. He's made a lot of mistakes, and it's interesting just how many people are willing to hold on to and continue to bring those things up, even though it's clear, based on at least recent actions and recent comments that he's made, that he has made reparation for and has made has made reconciliation for the things that he has done in the past. But you have not come here to listen to me talk about Mel Gibson. You've come to me, I think, to talk about The Continental. So it says exclusive, Mel Gibson has been set to star in The Continental, the prequel to the Keanu Reeves film series John Wick. The Continental will be presented as a 3-night special event TV series produced for Starz by Lionsgate Television. Okay, so that makes a little bit more sense there. It says The Continental will explore the origin behind the Hotel for Assassins, which increasingly has become the centerpiece of the John Wick universe. This will be accomplished through the eyes and actions of a young Winston Scott, who is dragged into the hellscape of 75 New York City to face a past he thought he left behind. Winston charts a deadly course through the New York's mysterious underworld in a harrowing attempt to seize the iconic hotel, which serves as the meeting point for the world's most dangerous criminals. No word yet on who will play Winston Scott, the hotel owner, who is played in the films by Ian McShane. Gibson will play a character named Cormac. So again, this is awesome. To have a huge name, a huge title like Mel Gibson attached to not just a TV series, but one set in the John Wick universe. If you've not been a fan of the channel, if you have not seen a lot of the things that I've done on the channel, you know I am a huge fan of the John Wick universe. John Wick 1 is a darn near perfect film. John Wick 2, I think, really does a really good job kind of diving into the lore of the story, especially focusing on certain aspects of not just the Continental, but also of the behind-the-scenes hierarchy of the entire world being built. Whereas John Wick 3, for me, has some of the best action sequences. That knife fight sequence in John Wick 3 is still one of the best that we've seen in a very long time in cinema. So I have a huge attachment to the John Wick universe and to the John Wick films. And so when this was announced initially, I was already sold, because I'm like, wait a minute, we get to learn more about the Continental, which has already been one of the coolest parts of the show, at least from a lore perspective. Count me in. And obviously, not sure exactly what the direction they were going to go, but the fact that they're going to do an origins story of the Continental, at the very least of one of the main characters from the John Wick universe, the one that played by Ian McShane. This has me incredibly excited. Mel Gibson being set to star in this show also is going to, I think, raise this to another level, because obviously Mel Gibson's going to bring his own, not just acting chops. Again, something that's not really talked about a whole lot with Mel Gibson is just how talented he is as an actor. If you really want to have a great showcase of this, see his most recent film from 2019, I think, 2020, Fat Man, which was phenomenal. He did a great job in that film. And of course, you can go back to the classics like The Patriot and things like that, where, again, the guy just is great at his craft. So I would love to know and would love to see him get involved as a producer on the show as well, because to have some creative input from him, I think could be a huge benefit to this show and to this world being built as well. So it is going to be very interesting to see how this plays out. It goes on to say, it's a rare foray into television for Gibson, who made his acting debut on the Australian television series The Sullivans from 76 to 83. During that run, he made his Australian screen breakthrough in George Miller's Mad Max and Peter Weir's Gallipoli, and the year of Living Dangerously on route to become a star in Hollywood with the Lethal Weapon films and Best Picture winner Braveheart, which he directed. John Wick trilogy has grossed over $600 million. The films have been scripted by Derek Kolstad and directed by Chad Stahelski. And John Wick Chapter 4 is currently shooting in Germany, France, Japan, and Reeves reprising his assassin character. Cannot wait for John Wick 4 to be coming out. It's going to be fantastic, I think. It says here, executive producers Greg Coolidge and Kirk Ward are writing the event series and serve as the showrunners. So again, they did things called Wayne and Ride Along. Don't know exactly how much that helps. It says Thunder Roads Pictures, Basil Iwanek and Erica Lee, Stahelski, Kolstad, David Leitch, Sean Simmons, Paul Wernick, and Rhett Reese will also serve as executive producers. Okay, so as long as Stahelski is involved in the creative process of the show, that is, again, fine by me. I would have loved to have seen him as a showrunner on this, to be honest, or heck, even better, to have Keanu Reeves as a showrunner on this, because I think that could make it even better. We've already seen his, brief foray into the world of gaming. Imagine him going into the world of a TV series, especially one that he obviously has a huge connection with there. And it says, Lionsgate TV's Kevin Biggs illuminated the rationale behind the prequel to my colleague. It says, it's such a successful franchise, it's on its way to its fourth and fifth installments as a movie. So, again, it looks like John Wick 5 already confirmed. It's got a great mythology and such interesting style, and gung fu approach of these incredibly poetic stunt aesthetics is just out of this world, which is why the movie with Keanu Reeves, who's so amazing at everything he does, but particularly compelling as John Wick in our mind, just cries out to be something in TV, just like the MCU, DCEU for TV perspective. And again, just give some more information here. It says, McShane had previously said he won't appear in the Continental, but might do voiceover work, and Lionsgate has said that while Reeves likely won't appear in the series, he's in talks to be an executive producer. So yeah, I would love to see Reeves as an executive producer there. I think that would be a very good move. Also, it would raise the credibility of it. To have his name attached to it, I think would also bring some more notoriety to it. However, just having Mel Gibson attached to the show is already going to raise the show to that much of a level. So I cannot wait for this show to come out, to learn more about the Continental, and just to dive deeper into this world. It's just amazing that you have this universe that was set in play just a few years ago, it seems, really over the past 5 years that this universe has been around, and we're getting deeper into the lore with every single film that we get. And even though obviously not every film is perfect, I just love how we're just learning more and more about everything that's going on. So I'm totally in favor of shows like this diving further into the lore, especially of newer content and newer properties, right? Properties that are not decades old. And this is the kind of stuff that I would love to see more from Hollywood, creating new stories, creating new universes, and just diving headlong into them. And obviously I do have concerns that the John Wick universe could go on for longer than it should. So my hope is that they're able to give a nice endpoint to it. But if they can keep the universe alive with shows like The Continental, that I think could be a very smart avenue for them to be able to use in the future. But anyway, what are your thoughts about this? Are you excited for The Continental? Is Mel Gibson's presence in The Continental going to now make you interested in it if you were not already interested in it before? As, again, I was already so hyped and so psyched for it. I would love for, especially since they've announced that this is going to be a 3-part series based on this. Yeah, 3-night special event TV series. So I guess only 3 episodes, which is just going to be one long movie, basically. So I guess it's going to be a 3-hour total special or something like that. That's awesome. That's really cool, because that's a well fleshed out film going into the origins of this hotel and just the underworld that's going to be attached to it. So again, I think there's a lot to be excited for here, with the one downside being that it'll be on Starz, which means that I'll obviously have to get a Starz subscription or something like that. But anyway, let me know your thoughts about this and anything I mentioned in the comment section below. If you like this video, smash that like button, light up that fire button if you're watching on Odyssey. You're all amazing and beautiful people. Huge shout out to Kara Tharp and Bifford the Hobbit, who are new members over on locals.com. You guys are all amazing, beautiful people. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless. And now for a huge shout out to all of my Patreon, Subscribestar, and Locals members: Andrew Hoyle, animation commentator; Brandon, Brian P., Christopher Bowman, Don Bruno de la Mancha, Father Christopher Miller, hail to you, Father. Father Damian Cook, Garrett Searles, Harold Francis, Inflamed Wood, Jacob Juice, Jeffrey Toone, Joe Horn, Jonathan Carney, Gomer Kyle, 79, Laura, the Modern Major General's Story, Mike Jackson, Dion, Mad Mitch Dunaway, Mondo Spieler, Mr. Peabody, On to June, Orange Hat Reviews, Out of Step with Reality, Priscilla Hall, Rosetta Allen, Stan Andrian, Teresa Martin, Theodore Benden, Tina Bojan, and Tina B, the Empress of the Universe. Thank you for being my Patreon members, and a huge shout out to my Subscribe Star members, The R, Fast Reaction, Nosferatu Gatsu, John B, Perpetual Punster, Mr. Roy, Glinzer, J. Alex McCarthy Jr., Dean Heist Slash, the new number 2, J-Rod, the Beer Guru, and ZK-Man. Thank you very much for supporting me over on Subscribestar. And to my one Locals member, Robert Barnes, thank you for supporting me over on Locals. And if you want a name shouted out, or your name rather, shouted out at the end of every single live stream and video, please consider joining on one of those platforms, either Patreon, Subscribestar, or Locals. Links to that can be found in the description. Look at that top link especially. It's called the Willow link there. It'll give you links to all the social media platforms and also ways to support the channel. If you want to be an Army of Asgard level or above member, you can get access to giveaways that I do every single month. I give away 4Ks, Blu-rays, all kinds of stuff. It is a lot of fun. Also, if you join at the Keeper of the Bifrost level, you get access to all of that. Plus, you get access to an exclusive podcast that I do with John the Flick Pick Flickinger. We have a lot of fun. We do that once or twice a month. And if you join at the Chosen of Valhalla level, you get all of that. Plus, in your first month, you get a t-shirt of your choice and send anywhere in the world. And also, you get to be featured on the channel once a month on the Chosen of Valhalla live stream, where we get to hang out and have a good time. So anyway, if any of that sounds good, check out that link in the top of the video as I mentioned. You guys are amazing and beautiful people. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And as always, God bless.